Hello there. My name is Janet Badhoorn from the Netherlands, and I'm going to host you in this cruise TV. This is #1 cruise TV, and I am going to do a lot of repetitive sessions. Like I'm going to, maybe not daily, but I'll try to inform you about the craziest idea ever, and that is taking entrepreneurs on a cruise. And I'm not going to talk about the ship, or maybe later, but not today. Today I'm going to talk about the seed, like the seed that was planted in my soul, in my in my system, not even in my brain. It's not that we take decisions here, you take decisions here. And I remember, I grew up in rural areas. Like my grandparents had farms, and there were chickens and horses, and I love being in nature, and we went cycling in the woods. That was my childhood. At that time, I could never have imagined, the word imagined, that I would go on a transatlantic cruise, first as a passenger, but then 1 year later, after my first experience, I took my own clients with me on this cruise ship, crossing the Atlantic Ocean to Brazil, to the Caribbean, to all these wonderful places in the world. I just could not imagine that. This was not me. It was not in my identity. I was just this normal Dutch girl. And it has taken me years to build on my self-confidence, to build on my knowledge, to get more self-reflection, to know my strong parts, because our educational system is not built upon your strengths. It's built upon your weaknesses, and we are all prepped for a corporate career. And I had a corporate career. I had my lease car. I had everything, and I was not unhappy, but I was not over the moon happy. And it was okay. It was good. I had great employers. I had good times. I also had bad times. Then you have to skip. You have to leave that job. But I also had good jobs. But the thing is, if you cannot imagine doing something strange or weird, or educating yourself in things that you really, really want to do, if you cannot imagine it, chances are that you're not going to do it. And imagination, for me, it's the first step into self-development, into getting things done that you would never have thought possible. So for me, that is taking people on a cruise ship, crossing the Atlantic Ocean and going to the Caribbean or to Brazil or to warm places every year, And we sail, or we are on this ship in November, December. It's always in our wintertime. I don't know where you're watching from, but it's our wintertime. So it's, I would say, bloody cold here. There can be snow, storms, rain, hail, very short daylight periods. So it's like a blessing to go from a cold Europe to the warmth of the Caribbean. That's my favorite part in the world. If you have any questions, I'll switch to Facebook also. If you have any questions, just drop me a note. Hi, oh, we have a watcher, Atareta. I hope I pronounce your name well. I love it that you watch live. And tell us again, where are you from? Because that's the fun in being an online entrepreneur. You can live all over the world. As long as you have the internet, you can live all over the world. But let's have some fun together. I prepared a short presentation about imagination and desire, because that's where the magic starts. That's where yeah, that's where you as an entrepreneur can make a difference in the world. So I'm going to switch to my presentation. And along with this presentation, I mean, I have done the work. You can do the work too. I'm going to share this. Yeah, I can see that you can see it now. And I'm going to take full screen. Yes. It was Walt Disney who said, if you can imagine it, it's possible. Walt Disney had this crazy idea of this theme park, like this fun park. And everyone around him said, well, it's not possible. People will not do that. And how do they get there? And do you know how much money that costs? Yes, it was an impossible task, project, and he did it. So I love this quote. If you can imagine it, it's possible. If you cannot imagine it, that's what I said in the beginning. If you cannot imagine it, you will never do it because it's not in your mind. There's no seed planted. So yeah, like a definition. Imagination is followed by desire. If you can imagine, in my case, sailing to the Caribbean on a cruise ship, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, if you can imagine that, in my case, there was this desire of, I want this experience. I want to cross the ocean. So I just booked. And yeah, you have to take some action and maybe some risk, because I thought it was I was nervous and excited at the same time. I was nervous because the ocean is so big. Like, what are we going to do the whole day? And what if the ship just disappears into the ocean, like 10 kilometers deep? but we survived. I survived it 6 times already, so it's safe, it's good. But I love these sentences. Desire is only a thought. It's an impulse. It's something you would like to have. It is, and it's not my sentence. It has difficult words. So it's a definition from the internet. It is nebulous, it's vague, and it's ephemeral. It's short time. It's something you want now. It's like, yeah, you want it. It's abstract and have no value until it has been transformed into its physical counterpart. So as a kid, let's say that I imagined going to the Caribbean. I did, because I had this door poster with this palm tree and white sand. It was only imagination. I never ever thought it would come true. After a few years, like I'm in my 50s now, after a few years in, I knew that this imagination was a desire. And all of a sudden there was this opportunity to really do it, to really just book, pay, and be there, show up, and just get on board of the ship. So embark the ship, and full of excitement. I had a cabin on my own the first time. Like every time, I always have a cabin on my own. And the first time I booked an inside cabin, I was like, oh, it has to be cheap. Now I'm like, I know I need a balcony. But the first time I booked an inside cabin, and I had to look and walk in the ship and to find my cabin, and my suitcase was already in front of the door. They do that for you. And I still feel this joy of opening the door. It was a small room. Cruise ship rooms are small normally, but it had a double bed. It had a shower, a toilet, a television. It had a small desk where I could write and work. And it was mine for 2 weeks. It was mine, and I loved it. I loved it. So if you have something in your mind, if there's something that you have imagined, take some steps, talk about it with people, and make sure that your imagination transforms into a desire. And then just figure out what you need to do and how much money you need. Normally, you would need some money. And I'm going to give you some homework. I love assignments. I love it. I love to put people to work. Yes, I'm like a teacher. List your desires below. Place no limits on your imagination. What do you want to have? What is it? It can be physical, it can be objects like a new car, but it can also be non-physical. It can be something like a 10-hour work week, or a house. No, that's physical. A house with a garden, I won't say. It can be more freedom. It can be, I don't know, time to walk with my dog, or it can be anything. So what do you want to have? And the assignment after that is, who do you want to be? So what kind of a person on an identity level do you need to be in order to have those objects? Now, let's say that you want a 10-hour work week. So what kind of an entrepreneur do you have to be to make that come true? So you have to be the CEO of your business. You have to be the entrepreneur who builds a team, or you have to be the entrepreneur who buys software so that you have automatic systems in place. You have to be the big thinker, the entrepreneur who thinks big. You have to be something on an identity level. So for me, running this business, I keep on repeating, I am the CEO of a $10 million business. It's not 10 million by far, but I want to behave and I want to be the CEO of a $10 million business. It means that I make choices. Like, what do I do myself? What do I delegate to my team? What kind of people do I hire? And it takes some practice, but I am the CEO of a $10 million business. What am I going to decide? So who do you want to be? Think about identity level. And I know it takes some practice. I would like to invite you, I want you to, but I would like to invite you to create a mood board in Canva. There's a special mood board section in Canva. And share your mood board in my free group, Find Your Freedom as an Entrepreneur. If you haven't joined that group, I'll put the link on the video, underneath the video later. Please join, because it's an active group and it's full of people with freedom, wishes, desires to have more freedom in their life. Select photographs, images, colors, quotes, words that describe you. Don't think about right or wrong. They just appeal to you. And now, very important, make sure to include not just material things, but also pictures that represent the qualities and feelings of the kind of person you wish to become. There need not be any rhyme or reason to the items you choose. It's simply a matter of choosing what inspires you. And in the middle is a picture of you first. It's you in the mood board. Otherwise, you create a mood board for someone else. That's my deep belief. It's you in the mood board, and then all the other things surround you. I wish you fun with that. I wish you, I wish us fun with that as well, because if you have finished that, share it in the group, make it a fun assignment. I'll share mine as well. So you'll see more mood boards coming in, and explain your mood board to it. What is it that you desire? What is it that you want? I just love that. And if you want to become this, like my whole posture is that if you want to become this big entrepreneur, like I'm the CEO of a $10 million business, I have to take steps, I have to take action, and I have to do that daily. So I'll do that. This was Cruise TV #1. Like, cruising for me, it started with imagination, it became a desire, it turned into an action, and maybe it sounds stupid, but for me, this is normal now. It's normal to go to the Caribbean every year and to have a balcony cabin, like having a cabin for yourself and with your own shower and with your own balcony. You just open the doors and you have this sea smell, and the air there, it's so good for my lungs. I am an asthma patient. I have asthma, so I'm so happy on that ship with a balcony. But for me, it's normal now. So yes, you can transform and you can improve your life and you can take steps, but it starts with this little spark of imagination. This was Cruise TV #1, and I hope you look forward to Cruise TV #2, and I'll think of an assignment again. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.